The next slate of Xbox Game Pass games have been announced. We see what the partners are for Summer Games Fest. Sonic Frontier shows off a teaser trailer, and the game looks absolutely incredible. And Xbox Series X and S continue to sell very well. We got a small little announcement here for games for Xbox Game Pass, and I have a feeling this is just going to be the beginning of some of the great announcements we are going to be getting this month for Game Pass, especially with the event on June 12th. But I think this is a pretty sneakily good batch of games that we're going to be able to jump into. So the first game that we have here is For Honor Marching Fire Edition. This is that Ubisoft game, that PvP 4v4 fighting game with all of the different factions and different classes that you get to play as. You have the Marching Fire Edition, which comes with some additional content. This is the first of the two big Ubisoft games that were announced a while ago coming over to Xbox Game Pass. The next one here is Assassin's Creed Origins, which will be available on June 7th for cloud, console, and PC. And this is an amazing Assassin's Creed game. It's the first of those kind of remaking of the games with the big open world and the RPG and all that type of stuff. And it's really, really well done. If you haven't checked out Assassin's Creed Origins, I really highly recommend it. And with Assassin's Creed Origins coming over to Game Pass, it's going to have that 60 FPS update. Now, other than that, there's also this game here, which I'm very, very excited to see coming over, and that is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection coming on June 2nd to console and PC. And this includes 3 Ninja Gaiden games: Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. All great games, come with all the DLC. If you like Ninja Gaiden, or if you just enjoy fighting action ninja games, 100% recommend checking this out. I definitely will be. And just in general, the Ninja Gaiden games right now, the backwards compatible one on Xbox Series X and S has enhancements, has 4K. The game looks brand new and it runs really well. And this one here will already be coming with the 4K 60 FPS updates. Then we have Chorus. Chorus is a flying space fighter style of game that looks really, really good. When it first came out, it got a ton of great reviews. I feel like it's one of those games that kind of flew under the radar in terms of the amount of people that played it. I just personally didn't see that much marketing for it and all that type of stuff, but this is coming on June 7th for cloud, console, and PC. So if you're into that, I recommend checking that out. Then you have Disc Room. This is kind of a survival escape room style of game coming on cloud, console, and PC on June 7th as well. And then Space Lines from the Far Out, again coming June 7th. And this is a day one Game Pass game, and it is a rogue-like co-op management game about airlines in space, featuring unlockable spaceships, upgrades, characters, and customizations with randomly generated challenges, trips, and itineraries with a generous serving of 60 space-age flair and jazz. So all in all, I mean, it's not a big list of games, but I think with For Honor, Assassin's Creed, Chorus, and Ninja Gaiden, I mean, those are 4 just pretty awesome games to have on the service. And the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection to me is a surprise, and I'm very happy to see that. So like I said, I think this is the very beginning of what we're going to be getting for announcements for Xbox Game Pass, especially with June 12th. And if you go down here into the article, they even mention we're not done for June. So keep an eye on the Wire or PC and Xbox Game Pass Twitter and Instagram for more games, more release dates, and possibly a few surprises now. And again, we'll see you on June 12th for the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and back here soon. Cheers. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming on June 12th. I'm very excited to see this, but for a small little announcement before we get the big announcements, I think this one's pretty good. All right, jumping over here to Summer Game Fest. It's just around the corner. It is next week. Very excited for the showcase, and they showed off the partner lineup, and it's pretty exciting. So as we know, this year there's no E3. There are not as many little showcases from these publishers, and it seems like they're all going to be incorporated into the Summer Games Fest lineup. So you see here the partners, you have some big ones here like 2K, Activision, Atlas, Bandai Namco, EA, Devolver Digital's in there. We know Devolver Digital usually has their own show with E3, but I guess they're just jumping into here. Deep Silver, you have PlayStation, so the State of Play is going to be completely a part of the Summer Games Fest. Xbox as well, the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. Sega, Square Enix, and just other great studios, great publishers that you're going to be able to check out here at Summer Games Fest. This should be a ton of fun. There should be a lot of stuff shown off, and generally with Summer Games Fest, Jeff Keighley usually gets some exclusive announcements, some big announcements if you remember the Elden Ring stuff. What else is interesting about these partners is you see something like Netflix. And we know Netflix has their, I guess, Netflix gaming thing where it's like more mobile stuff. But you see Netflix really trying to get into the video game industry by getting involved in the Summer Games showcases where all the biggest players in the industry are there. So Netflix is trying to get involved. Surprised to see. I wonder what they will be showing off. Maybe it's going to be an upgrade to the Netflix gaming subscription. Maybe you'll just see more games going into the service. But you see other stuff here like Atlas. Hopefully Atlas does some big announcement for bringing Persona or something over to Xbox, unless they keep that for the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. You have Activision showing off probably some Modern Warfare 2 or some more Call of Duty stuff. Capcom, are they going to be showing off Street Fighter 6 here? They're going to be showing it off in the PlayStation showcase. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I'm guessing they're going to have something for Street Fighter 6. Square Enix, I know that's the one that a lot of people want to see in terms of, are they going to be finally showing off some more for Final Fantasy 16 and giving a release date? We'll have to wait and see. .emu, which I love this publisher in terms of the games that they have been releasing. And the next big one on the slate here is TMNT Shredder's Revenge. So I'm hoping we are going to get the official release date for it. I'm assuming we will because we've seen all of the special edition stuff come out. We've seen them release their own just really cool looking special edition, plus the limited run games and the other limited run style publishers that are putting stuff out. You have Bloober Team in here as well, and maybe we'll see more about some of these Silent Hill projects. Then you got WB, probably announcement of some sort or some more showing off of Gotham Knights. So lots of stuff to look forward to. Lots of big games are going to be shown off. Although there is no E3, I think this is going to be a really fun showcase. Okay, next up we got this really awesome trailer for Sega's Sonic Frontiers. Now this is the next big Sonic game coming over to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. It is an open world Sonic game, and they give us our first look as to kind of what we can expect. You can see Sonic here running around, attacking different enemies, taking on different events, grinding rails throughout this open world, fighting these massive enemies, and just really fast action. When I first saw this trailer, absolutely amazed by it. I can't wait for this game. I hope they show off more at Summer Games Fest at some point. And I'm really excited for this because it looks like a great Sonic game, but also because this is one of those games that potentially is going to be involved with the Xbox and Sega partnership where they're using the Azure technology. And I'm hoping that because of that partnership, they're going to be able to leverage their relationship with Sega and Sonic to get some great announcements for Xbox, maybe getting this game over to Xbox Game Pass. But either way, this game looks very good. And I hope they take their time with making this. I hope they don't rush it out, because Sega games, or Sonic games in particular, have had a pretty rough go in terms of having consistency of great Sonic releases. You think about the last, I guess, big 3D one release, which was Sonic Forces, which was okay. Pretty mediocre game. I played through it. I had fun with it. But you think about releases before that, like Sonic Generations. Think of a game like Sonic Mania. Also the release of Sonic Colors, and then the re-release of it, both great games. So I'm hoping Sonic Frontiers goes along the trend of them releasing a good Sonic game. It looks really good, and there's so much you could do with an open world Sonic game with the speed of the character just running around grinding. Traversal is going to be the most important thing, I believe, with an open world Sonic game. How are they going to do that so you can continuously be moving throughout the world, going through loops, grinding on random stuff to get from one end to the other? So we're talking about sales again, and we're talking about hardware sales, and it is because the trend is continuing going forward, where Xbox is really doing strong in their sales, continuing to outsell the PlayStation 5. So firstly, we have William D'Angelo here from VG Charts saying that the Switch sales year over year are down by an estimated 21%, and the PS5 sales are down by 31%. The sales for the Xbox Series X and S are up 24%. Week on week, Switch sales are up by over 3K, PS5 sales are up by over 30K, and the Xbox Series X and S sales are up by nearly 16K. And we take a look here at the VG Charts global hardware estimates for the week ending May 21st, and the trend is continuing, where the Xbox Series X and S are in second place ahead of the PlayStation 5, behind the Nintendo Switch, with 131,000 units sold versus the PS5's 123,000 units sold. and the Nintendo Switch 294,000 units sold. And in terms of the year-to-date sales, the Switch has sold 6.22 million units, Series X and S 3.02 million units, and the PS5 2.86 million units. So overall, this year in 2022, the Xbox Series X and S continues to outsell the PlayStation 5. This is a trend that we're seeing lasting throughout the summer, going through May, and will most likely continue to last throughout June. And we'll see how long it does last overall. And it's a very interesting thing, especially with the discourse going on around the video game industry, with the fact that Xbox doesn't have a first-party Xbox Game Studios game, doesn't have one launching on the consoles, doesn't have one coming into Xbox Game Pass yet. That could change on June 12th, but the narratives are interesting because it's showing that even without those first-party games, the Xbox Series X and S continue to sell, which leads me back to a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about this week, where it's not just the exclusives that are locked to a box that are going to push your console forward. The actual product itself of the Xbox Series X and S has so many different factors that make people want to go out and buy these consoles. There's so much great content already that's on there. You have access to Xbox Game Pass. It's a cheaper avenue than building a PC to access the services that people want to access through Xbox. And then there's various other things like backwards compatibility, the achievement system, if your friends are on the console, all that type of stuff push people to go out and buy consoles. And you can look at this, and I've mentioned it numerous times whenever we talk about sales. Yes, chip shortage plays a role in this, but at the end of the day, people wouldn't be going in and buying an Xbox Series X and S even if it was the only thing there, if the product wasn't good, if the services weren't good, and if it wasn't a desirable platform. So this is a continuing story, and if we look at the overall global estimates for the hardware from the beginning of this generation until now, you see that gap closing as we go through this year, where right now lifetime sales, the Xbox Series X and S are only about 5 million units behind the PlayStation 5. Now, hardware unit sales don't really matter that much to Xbox compared to everything else that they have going for them, which is their ecosystem. They don't care how you access their ecosystem as long as you get in. But it's interesting to talk about this stuff because not only are they doing well with their console sales without having the big first party release this year or having a console exclusive specifically, they are continuing to grow Xbox through their service side of things with Game Pass. And they have the best of both worlds right now, which is being able to sell their hardware because it's a desirable console and getting people to sign up to their ecosystem through other means. And you can see PlayStation seeing that, and they are transitioning over with what they're doing with the PlayStation Plus tiers, and they're going to start putting more games on PC. And it looks like they're also going to be building a PC launcher. And all of this stuff coincides with the videos I made earlier this week, where yes, exclusives are important to an extent, but they're important into the ecosystem. They do not need to be locked into a console for your product to do well and to sell well. But that's it for me, guys. What are your thoughts on the Game Pass games that were announced? Are you excited for Summer Game Fest? Which partner are you most excited to see show off their games? What do you think about the Xbox Series X and S sales compared to the PlayStation 5? And Sonic Frontiers, what did you think about that trailer? If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.